everyone, what's up? It's Berlin. Welcome back to my channel. Hi, how are you doing? Wow, we've got some tea to get into. Beauty community kicking off again. Beauty community doesn't ever sleep. We all know this. Girl, this one is quite a big one. This is, of course, going to be a video about OFRA Cosmetics and their collaborators, because OFRA Cosmetics have got in a lot of trouble recently because this photo from 2016 has resurfaced. It's a photo with one of the owners here of OFRA Cosmetics wearing a MAGA hat and doing a white supremacist hand gesture. Some people on social media are arguing that this isn't a white supremacist hand gesture, but most people definitely consider it to be that kind of gesture. So this has caused so much drama on Twitter, with people calling it out, calling for the kind of cancellation of OFRA Cosmetics. It's a big one. To try and find some kind of history and some kind of explanation for this hand gesture, I looked it up online and went through various articles, and I found this from the Independent newspaper. It says that particular hand sign used to be a signal that just meant okay, but then in 2017 that hand signal was appropriated as a way of signifying white power. According to the information I found, this started in early 2017 as a hoax. Anonymous users of 4chan, an anonymous and unrestricted online message board, began what they called Operation O-K, in an attempt to trick liberals and the whole world into thinking that this hand gesture was one of white supremacy. Members of this group would do things like create fake social media profiles with basic white girl names to try and spread their message as far and wide as they could all over social media. What started as a hoax, this 4chan hoax, then became something that was used by neo-Nazis, the KKK, and other white nationalists, who used this hand signal to find sympathisers and potential recruits for them. For these people, the letters formed by the hand gesture were not O and K, but W and P for white power. So there's a little bit of tea, a little bit of history on that situation, how that hand gesture was appropriated. I wasn't previously aware of that, so I just wanted to pop that in this video for anyone else who also might not be aware of that. And here you've got this photo with Mr. OFRA Cosmetics doing that very hand gesture while wearing a MAGA hat. Since this photo's resurfaced, I've been seeing influencers on Twitter saying that they're going to be throwing OFRA Cosmetics out of their collection. Robert Welsh, I saw him say that, and also he said it's because it is a white supremacist hand gesture. And now, of course, since this photo's resurfaced, what we've got OFRA Cosmetics coming out, putting out a statement on their Twitter, which doesn't have as many followers as their Instagram account. They've put out one statement on Twitter, then they put out a second one claiming that this hand gesture was not meant to reflect white supremacy in any way, which, I'm sorry, I don't believe that at all. I really don't. For somebody to be standing there in a MAGA hat doing that particular hand gesture, no, doesn't sit right with me. I'm sorry, OFRA, you done fucked up on that one. And then just to add further insult to injury, what you've got is you've got a receipt that's leaked on Reddit of OFRA Cosmetics owners donating to MAGA campaigns. It's like, oh shit, you know, just when you thought it couldn't get worse, there's this. So if nothing else, this does prove that they were in full support of Donald Trump. In the beauty community, of course, we all know that OFRA Cosmetics are known for collaborating with some really, really big name influencers. They've had people on brand trips such as Manny MUA, Laura Lee, Nikki Tutorials. They even created a range of highlighters with Nikki Tutorials. And I actually have one of those here. Yes, I bought one. I didn't know anything about their history when I bought this collaboration. So I bought the shade Glazed Donut there, the Nikki Tutorials highlighter. It's like a £27 highlighter. I do really like it. That is the only thing that I own from OFRA Cosmetics. And honestly, after this, will I be buying anything more? I highly doubt it. I highly, highly doubt it. You know, they're not coming out saying this is a joke. In the case of Jeffree Star, when you've seen him posing with a Confederate flag, He's come out and said he did that for a joke. Okay, so if someone does something stupid for a joke, I can kind of forgive that, you know, but not even that, you know. I don't always agree with everything Jeffree Star does, but in the case of OFRA Cosmetics and the influencers that they've collaborated with, girl, I am gobsmacked. You know, you've got Manny MUA, who was just collaborating with President Biden. And then there's this. He has collaborated in the past with OFRA only a few years ago. In fact, you can still buy those products on Beauty Bay, the lip products, the Manny MUA X OFRA lipsticks. You can still purchase them on Beauty Bay along with the Nikki Tutorials X OFRA highlighters. So these influencers' names are still attached to that brand. So I can only think that they haven't done their research before collaborating with the brand to find out what their political stance is.
I think that's the one product I would bring, is sunscreen.
That's honestly, that's what I was hoping you were gonna say. I'm not gonna lie. I was hoping you would say that, so I'm very, very glad to hear that. Sunscreen is very important. But that was all the questions I had. I just want to say thank you so much, President Biden, specifically for all that you've done for us and all that you've done for the LGBTQ plus community. I'm so grateful for that personally, and I just want to say thank you for all the things you've done for the nation, really.
Well, let me tell you something. You're making great contributions to the American public and the LGBTQ, and we have to make sure that we're dealing with the transgender population. They're being persecuted in many places.
Absolutely, and I'm so happy that that is a priority of you.
As my mother would say, God love you.
Have an amazing one, you guys, both of you. Have a great day.
So while Manny MUA has had that wonderful moment there with President Biden, where President Biden said those lovely words about the transgender population, I'm now sitting here thinking, wow, Manny, is this a bit of performative activism on your part? You know, Manny has been very vocal about his support of Biden, like for this entire year. So I'm very shocked that Manny is now not speaking up about this OFRA situation, given that he has been one of their collaborators. You know, he's called out things like Nikki Felipe and her dog, but he's not saying anything about this situation, and that to me is very, very shocking. But it wasn't just Manny MUA who got to collaborate with President Biden and Dr. Fauci. It was also Jackie Aina. This is crazy because then Amanda Ensing came out on IG yesterday doing a whole 10-minute rant about the two of them, and also about the treatment of conservatives in the beauty community, because she, of course, famously had her Sephora sponsorship taken away from her recently.
You guys remember when I said God is exposing a lot the last year? Well, Biden just did a COVID-19 town hall type of thing on YouTube with YouTubers. And out of every YouTuber that could have been, just so happens it's two beauty influencers. Just so happens it's the same two beauty influencers who called me racist, ugly inside and out, made fun of my faith in God, called me Esther, said to defund me, all because I voted for Trump, all because I'm conservative. They called me all of these things and called for me to be canceled in the beauty industry. Yeah, those two people, Manny and Jackie, I don't know what they have to do with vaccinations. I guess because celebrities pushing it, marketing pushing it, all of the commercials, politicians pushing it isn't enough. Now they're going to YouTubers to push the vaccine. Comments are turned off on YouTube. I mean, the White House, literally, it's like a game now of seeing when they're going to turn off comments. They always turn off comments once the comments start coming in from the people, because they know that we the people know the truth now, and that is regarding the vaccine. That's regarding everything that's happening, the election, everything that's happening. I mean, just look at the dislikes. They speak for themselves. Anyways, I find it funny because if you look at the comments of these two liberal influencers, right, that are pushing Biden, have been pushing Biden, they said that anyone who voted for Trump was racist, conservatives are racist, all these things about conservatives, right? Brands like Sephora still work with them. Beauty companies still sponsor them. Oh, but me, conservative? No, no, no. But if you support the narrative, support the science, S with a dollar sign, then you're fine. And in that video, it was very disturbing because they said, yes, you know, everyone has to do their part. I agree, you know, trust the science. I'm curious, what science, Jackie? What science, Manny? You will see beauty brands and other beauty influencers being like, yes, oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you. Yes, you collabed with Biden. Oh my gosh, I won't call him president because he's not president. But they'll like push that narrative and they're praised in the beauty industry. But if this would have been with Trump, or a conservative president, oh my gosh, could you imagine? I mean, look what's happening to conservatives now. I point this out because it's hypocrisy. I got called all of these things, which I don't care what they think about me, but brands decided that, oh, well, you're a conservative, you're no longer worthy to be sponsored, we don't want to feature you, you can't use our products. And that wasn't just towards me as a conservative, that was towards every conservative. But if I would have pushed an experimental shot, if I would have pushed Biden, oh, it would have been fine. Do you see how disgusting that is? That's communism. That's not America. They could have asked Dr. Fauci a multitude of questions, such as, what about the research of gain of function when it comes to coronavirus and the research in the Wuhan lab? Did you fund it, Dr. Fauci? Did you? Can you let us know? Can you let us know? Instead of asking about all of the deaths and side effects that are being reported on VAERS about coronavirus or people coming forward, instead of asking about things that actually matter, like asking important questions, they literally read questions that were already pre-written for them. I'm curious, Manny and Jackie, how much did you get paid for this? How much did they pay you to read your questions? That they wanted you to just be the little puppet for them? Just do whatever they wanted to use your likeness? You're nothing more than a puppet to these politicians. And you're being used. If you're familiar with Jackie's content, everything is about race. Everything she posts is about race. Everyone's racist. So she asked a question about, well, what about Black communities who don't have access? She said equitable access to get the vaccine. And Joe Biden said it could be a few miles for a Black community, but it could be 500 miles. He was saying that some Black people live 500 miles from a healthcare spot where they can have access to healthcare, such as, Walgreens, CVS, where you can get your shot. He literally is calling Black communities poor. And she just smiled like, yeah, I agree. These people are puppets. They'll do anything for money. They do no research on anything. If you would have done your actual research on what's happening, you would have been embarrassed to do this. It was political theater. I would love to debate any of these beauty influencers who think they know anything about politics. They don't. They just repost whatever the trending hashtag is or whatever people tell them to post. So they continue to push the narrative that the government is pushing, right? So Jackie said, oh, well, I have to worry about other people. That's what I'm very conscious about, other people's health. So I'm getting the vaccine because I'm worried about other people. So since when does you getting a vaccine not work unless other people get it? You're saying everyone has to get a vaccine for it to work? That's not how vaccines work. But they don't know what they're talking about. They're just saying whatever they're told. Even Manny, coming from someone who said masks filter the air, these are the type of people they brought on to push the vaccine. Everyone has the medical freedom to either get it or not. That's on you. But you know what I think is irresponsible is being paid to promote or promoting a vaccine with absolutely no studies that is not even approved by the FDA. It's emergency use authorization only. The same people who call us conspiracy theorists for believing that it was a rigged election, which it was, that's not a conspiracy, it was, for believing that this shot is not actually good for you, and for believing that we have corruption in our government, are the people who think masks actually filter the air, that they keep you healthy. The same people who are like, oh my gosh, the whole nation, 80 million people voted for Biden. I guarantee you they haven't watched one press conference, that they have no idea. They see what's happening at the border, don't care about the humanitarian crisis happening at the border. They see gas prices going up, they don't care because they can afford it. They don't care. They don't care about you or their audience. They only care about how much money they make at the end of the day. That's the beauty industry in a nutshell. It's how much money you make, how many followers you can gain. I really stay out of it most of the time because I don't really care what people say about me, but I would really love for Manny and Jackie to go on and talk about all of the science they found of why we should trust the vaccine. I'd really love to know. I'd love to know what research they found that we should trust the science. What science should we trust? Because there are no human trials. There were only animal trials and all the animals died. They didn't even try it again. They just went straight to people. I'd also love to know, how we have to do our part by getting it. How me getting it helps someone else. How does that science work? I would love to know. I'm so intrigued. It only makes sense that if conservatives like myself are going to be canceled from working with brands because I'm conservative, I think we should be fair, right? The left is all about fairness and equality and inclusivity. So how about brands also stop sponsoring people who are liberal and talk about politics? Let's make it fair, right? They're all about that. So let's not only cancel conservatives, let's cancel liberals too, right? their rules, not mine. I think everyone should be able to speak their political voice, and I think everyone should be able to have a job and work, especially in the beauty industry. Everyone wears makeup, right? Not just liberals, conservatives wear makeup too. One of the reasons why conservatives have been canceled recently is because we've been quiet for far too long. We've allowed ourselves to be pushed over. No more. If they're going to cancel conservatives for our views and not allow us to work in the industries, so might as well tell them how we feel about it. Might as well be loud about it. Might as well not support brands that do that and let them know that it's not okay, because they are louder, right? They go and they try to cancel everyone for their beliefs and their opinions, which is wrong. We don't do that. I don't believe in cancel culture. However, you should be loud and express your opinion when people are doing things that are wrong. When brands are supporting influencers who act out like this, who call people racist, who do all these things, and it wasn't just to me, they also called their audience racist if they were conservative. They did a lot of stuff, and silence. No one spoke out against it. It's time to speak up. I know several conservative influencers who have briefly spoken up on their views and have been dropped by brands, which is how they make their living. But these same brands continue to sponsor liberal influencers such as Jackie and Manny, and it's no big deal because conservatives are quiet. We don't say anything. We don't believe in cancel culture. Well, it's time to start playing a little bit by their rules and not cancel people for their views or their beliefs. You can believe whatever you want to believe, but letting brands know that it's not okay and that we're not going to support these brands and we're going to stand up for our beliefs, because we have every right to our beliefs as they do. We have every right to do our own research, to be free thinkers, and to not go with whatever the mainstream is telling us just because Hollywood or Instagram or Facebook or YouTube tells us to. Without we, the people, spending our money at the brands, they're literally nothing. So we're not going to be quiet anymore. We're going to call out lies and call out BS when we see it.
I think she was just being loud and wrong for 10 minutes. My personal opinion, you don't have to agree with me. But girl, a 10-minute rant. Seriously, I was like, wow, she's doing the most. She is absolutely doing the most. However, one other thing that I do want to touch on in this video is Jen Love, previously known as Jen Love Reviews. She's getting some heat on social media right now because she's recently collaborated with OFRA. Recently, she came out with a lipstick collection with the brand, and honestly, I'm kind of shocked because Jen Love, or Jen Love's Reviews as she was previously known, she made a video where she was talking about brands that she wouldn't support. In that video, she included Jeffree Star Cosmetics, saying, oh, I refuse to support his brand because I think he's a shitty person. Yet, after the fact, after she'd made that video, she went ahead and collaborated with OFRA. So now I'm like, ooh, okay. So it's really money over morals, isn't it? If you can call out Jeffree Star because you don't like his actions and you think he's a shitty person, but then you do a collaboration after you've made that statement, you do a collaboration with OFRA, whose owner has been making donations to MAGA charities, who's been doing white supremacist hand gestures. Wow! The hypocrisy. Now, I don't know Jen Love at all. I've seen her videos. I'm sure she's a lovely person in person if you meet her. But that just kind of threw me. I watched that video of hers in the past, that one where she was going through all the brands that she doesn't support, where she included ABH, Jeffree Star Cosmetics, all this. I sat through it. I listened to her. I listened to all her reasons why she didn't support these brands. So for her to then go ahead, do this collaboration with OFRA, it's not looking good for Jen Love right now. Jen Love did try and defend herself on Twitter, but it's going to be hard to defend herself against this. Being as she's one of the people who's most recently done the collaboration with OFRA, and this has just come out about them, it's going to be very, very hard for her to come out of this situation looking okay. She did say that she's going to be doing a video on the situation and that it would be coming out on Sunday though. So, I'll definitely watch it to see what her take on the situation is. But it don't look good right now. It really doesn't. Especially given that, as I said, she's criticised other brands like Jeffree Star Cosmetics because Jeffree's a shitty person because of his views and whatnot. Anyway, guys, I'm going to stop this little video right here. I'm going to say take care, stay safe, stay well. Do let me know all your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below, and I will see you on the next one. I'm going to go do my face, come back looking fabulous. Love you guys. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye.